90 degrees. Update video. I got this now. Who's this guy? And I got this. So I'm moving back out to the woods. First day back. Mini fridge from room in the town in Nashville. Let's see. Over the winter, that hatched. Praying mantis egg sac. Let's see. So this is on right now. I was down to like maybe a low of 12.3 volts, you know. Just got in yesterday and plugged it in. Seeing if I can run it, you know. And if I can't keep it running, then I'll actually use it, you know. But if it ends up draining the battery, I won't bother using it. Priority is weed whacking, because it's a bad year for ticks. An insane amount of them. Got these. Here we go. It's overgrown a little. Passion flower, Japanese honeysuckle, both edible, you know, depending. Some wing sumac, those will be edible berries. Citrusy. Got the water shut off right now. Let's see. It's right here. Is water spider. When it gets scared, it'll actually swim underwater. If I scare it, it's like a six-spotted water spider, I think it's called. See, he just dove under the water. He's probably eating the mosquito larva. So, kind of see the water's low. Maybe like 2 inches lower than it normally is. It's been a dry spring. And it's gonna be hot. So this is some leftover stuff from last job. It's finished up doing mobile homes Friday. This is Monday. Wrapped it up Friday. Complex we were at is pretty much done. You know, maybe another 3 to 6 months worth of stuff, you know, but there's this really just awful guy they hired, you know, and I was not going to stick around. And they were going to have him stick around for a few months. I wasn't going to work with him for a few months, so I just put in my notice. So, yeah, I ducked out a little early. I may have stayed there still, you know, like if I was planning on staying there longer, but it just happened. But anyways, though, so this would be the warehouse garage, biggest change. So it's kind of like 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot. You know, there's these footings. There's footing, 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 12 footings, more or less every 10 feet, you know, just under 10 feet, you know, nothing's actually 10. You know, this is less than 20 by 30, but it's more or less 20 by 30. You kind of see a footing right here. I just got a spacer block in there right now. I'll pull that out and actually put the... That's what those are for. Those are like more or less 4 foot long, you know. So these will be kind of raised up 4 foot. I actually got a couple extra. I just realized. So right here is going to be a drive-through bay, so you can do lawnmower or the bicycle. I pulled the lawnmower out trying to use it, you know, but you got the bicycle. Keep the bicycle down there. lawnmower, garden cart. You know, this would be where I actually have a home for the garden cart, you know, rather than just leaving it out so the tires rot. So this would be kind of like a drive-through bay, you know. You know, two foot door, you know, for like a 4 foot wide door. Right here would be a ramp up, you know, all that'll be kind of more or less ground floor, it'll be more or less 4 foot up. Ramp up to the 4 foot, you know, 4 foot level, you know, with a personnel door right there. Probably a personnel door in the middle, you know, do like a ramp up, exterior ramp up with a personnel door in the middle. So going up that way, you could use that personnel door. This right here is where the solar panels will be mounted on the front facing wall. I'll just kick them out. I want to say they're like 3 foot, maybe 40 inches wide, you know, by like 5 foot tall or something. They're like maybe 400 watt panels. So they just rest them vertically and I'll kick out the bottom, you know, to kind of meet the needs, you know, of this, you know, winter or summer. And then when it's hailing, drop it down vertical. And then eventually, you know, this would be like a duck pasture, duck house. So this would be a project I'm going to be working on while I'm out here. This stint is doing this garage. Still got, I did a little bit of weed eating, but the weed eater cuts out after a while. Like it overheats or gets flooded or something. Still got some like pokeweeds per element. I did have a, so this is normal right here. I don't know if it's going to show. There's one in there moving around. He's alive. But they all have their heads on them. But I had one, like a murdering, these are carpenter bees, a murderous carpenter bee, like one that was a sociopath. And he cut the heads off all of the bees that were in here with him. So when I got here, they're just all beheaded bees except for one, you know. So that one bee went around and cut the heads off every bee that was in there dead, and every bee that came in there while it was still alive, you know. I'd never seen that before, you know, a carpenter bee decapitating all of its other bees. Moved the compost pile, starting off fresh. I ran out of leaves finally, so got some pine needles. These things died. -2 this winter. Fig pawpaw's doing good. Still no, had some flowers, but still no pollinators to actually make stuff. All the figs died back, but it's sprouting from the roots. The asparagus made it just fine. Still no asparagus seed pods though. This is the Mary Washingtons, maybe like a Jersey Giant right there. Trump finally catching it in the flowering stage. This is like a Mary Calendars or something. This is actually store-bought. They do grow wild around here. And this I find interesting. It's a little baby fig. This is that. So it either, this thing's roots are either over here and it's sprouted, or that came from seed, because that's not coming off of that root mass. Well, not the main mass, you know, like 10C. These are all coming off from the main mast. Raspberry died, you know, but this gets too much shade back here. No more strawberries. This was the original goji berries, and they've died back. But what do you call it? Let's see. That's goji berry right there. These are goji berries right here. So it's kind of, the original was over there, and it's moved over here. So the goji berry is doing good. Asparagus is doing good. So ticks are really bad. I'll eventually clear this out, even though this is perlament. I like it. I'll still clear it out. This is the one thing, you know, like that hybrid blackberry raspberry. See how it does. If it actually makes fruit. I don't think it will, because it's already like pretty much almost July, you know, and it still hasn't flowered. Or if it has flowered, I wasn't here for it. Got the wild mulberry right in there, you know. Here's a wild persimmon. This one right here is wild persimmon. So I might do it while I'm out here. Some cuttings off of this. This trip, you know. Eventually I want to do cuttings off of the goji berry and cuttings off of that thing. To propagate it and get those things to a spot up front where there's more sunlight. So that's this back area. Back area is doing good. The apple tree finally died. Yeah, this thing got tore up. Armadillo's going through here. There's my goji, or my, it died back too. This one turned -2 degrees. This is my mulberry. See, this one's like a red mulberry, and that's a black mulberry. That wild one's a black one, and this is a red one. You know, I got so the wild ones are one color, and then the store-bought is a different color. Nothing else really good. The persimmon. So I've been leaving the potatoes in here. This is the old potato pile. I've been leaving the potatoes in there, but they didn't make it through the winter. Deer's like this stuff, pokeweed. I ate this pokeweed down real good. So this is one project. Doing the garage, warehouse garage. So that'll be storage. So it's 10 by 10. This is 20 by 30. This is going to be the new water collection. And there'll be the barrels in there. You know, I'm thinking 50-gallon barrels like that. For so this is what I already weeded for the water collection. This is going to be a new bed right in here. These ones, this right, peach tree. These are arugula seed pods, some pretty big seed pods. So I did various things around in here. That's what these are. The wind must have just blown the seeds, arugula seeds. Got a nice locust. Eating them. Got some onions. Oh. Something's been burrowing, so see, there's a hole in the hole. Setting mouse traps trying to catch whatever it is burrowing. Got some kind of a tomato. I planted some of those cherry tomato seeds. I harvested, so that might be a cherry tomato, or maybe it's something that I just store-bought tomato packet. See what it turns into. I put some new asparaguses out there. So these I think are Stuttgart onions. That's why I planted them. Good for storage. This is a peach tree that I did from seed. It's doing good. The once it gets out of this cage though, the deers have been like eating it down. It's safe inside the cage. Took off real well this spring because of all the, you know, the fresh layer of cow manure and compost manure. That's some new stuff, like some hummus or something. Oops. Last year, one of those years I went around and planted a bunch of flowers. I just missed this one blooming. This is the last one that's left though, out of that original batch. More or less the last one. I think there's one over there. A couple of them had survived, you know, the armadillo, but it was warm out this spring, so they started blossoming, or started coming up. Then it got real cold out again, and they all died back except for that one. So that one made it. So I got a, store-bought peach tree this year. This is the one apple tree died. We got a new apple tree. This one is oh, there it is, pink lady. Some flowers. So different strawberries. Strawberry. More flowers. This is mine. Oh, it's a flower. Some more flowers. I did a lot of burgundy flowers around in here. You know, this one's starting to come up. Burgundy. Some more onions. Did a grape. Blueberry. Blueberry, I was doing good a few weeks ago when I was out here, maybe 3 weeks ago, but it's been dry. It's dying back. I'm gonna start watering. One of my roommates gave me some beans. I'm gonna plant those. I just got in yesterday. I haven't gotten around to planting them yet. Priority is just weed eating so I can move around without getting ticks on me. Well, it's like 10, 15 ticks a day, and it's like every time a tick bites me, it leaves like a welt that lasts months, and in one case years. I still got one from maybe 3 years ago right here, and it's just kind of morphed into something else now. Like some eczema on my elbows and starting on my knuckles, shins. I think this is horseradish. That's made it. And there's maybe some horseradish over there that made it from like last year that never got eaten by the armadillo. So I replanted some more horseradish this spring, and there's like that right there. And that looks what I want to say that horseradish looks like. It looks like what I had over there. So it looks like I got some horseradish coming in and some asparagus coming in over there. Most of these are perennial, but some of them are annual, these fancy flowers. Strawberries, they create little offshoots, so they can more or less be perennial. The root mass will come back in a couple of years. This is just some wood. This is pressure treated 10 footers, 6 10 footers. 6, and another 6 12. 8 footers. Half a sheet of 3/4 plywood. So I was clearing out my room. What do you call it? Each load out, I would take a load of room stuff, stuff from my room, and then get some wood and some concrete. I was just stacking it there. A couple black-eyed Susans made it, but not too many. Got the wild blackberries coming in. Just loaded. Some more winged sumac, but no berries on this one yet. Some pokeweed. So blackberry leaves are edible. Pokeweed's edible. Debatably, you want to boil and rinse the pokeweed a couple of times. But people eat it. Most of these wild blackberries are pretty small. This is interesting. Look at this one. This is like a monster for the wild variety over here. Probably a lot of little larvas in there. Tastes good though. And you get a little protein from the larvas. Most of this is going to be for a project down there. Some of it, like those 10 footers, for up here. Because it's like 9 foot 9.5 feet, you know, in between those footings. So it'd be like 4 foot up. It'd be like a ground level floor, maybe like a foot up. And 4 foot up will be the walking floor, 3 foot void for hiding stuff. And then 8 foot to the ceiling. Just trying to get the lawnmower to go. These guys are holding on. They died back a little bit, plum trees. Died back completely, but fig, but it's, you know, sprouting back from the roots. Barely there, plum. Tried getting the lawnmower going maybe a couple months ago. I couldn't get it started. Tried again this morning. Still couldn't get it started. I'm gonna try it out again. I was just bringing it down here. So I left it in the shack, so it got frozen, you know, down to the -2. Willow, it's good for aspirin. Willow, good for aspirin. Some more winged sumac. Well, you know, these would be little flowers, and then the flowers would be little citrusy things. So, do some weed eating, and then he's making good progress. Some mud dauber. He's actually in there right now. He's added like a ½ inch so far today. Right this morning, I wasn't near that far. Well, he's in there doing something. So weed eating is just kind of first quick priority. So some tubes. And I got some lumber on it just to back to the overflow. Get this cleared out some more, so it's more or less usable. Cutting down some of these trees. I eventually want this 3 foot wide, so I can bring the wheelbarrow through here. You know, that's 4 foot over there. But it would just be too hard making this 4 foot. Nah, maybe I will do 4 foot. So widen this up to 4 foot, make it concrete, you know. Got some 3-inch drain lines, 3 of them. This is the only one that extends all the way. The rest kind of terminate under this thing. It was a rabbit. So it's been 2 years maybe since I did this little platform. This is where the compost toilet's gonna be, the final one. So it'll be a nice little walkway to the house, you know. And I can do a convenient poop and pee. I'm thinking this is going to be a garbage can that I poop in. Not a 30-gallon garbage can, but maybe something like a 15-gallon. That's a like inchworm. Inchworm right there. It's a little overgrown. So this would be a ramp down, and then down, and let's see if we can see it. That's the hand pump well. This would be a ramp down into a hand pump well, which is basically the bottom of the ravine, and then taking the ravine up. I can't even see it now. There's a sheet of plywood over there somewhere as I use for target practice. So I'll be clearing this out. So I got a clear shot over there. in this compost toilet. This is where I'll keep my like a 270 Winchester, kind of like a deer hunting rifle. That's where I'll keep the. I got a really nice scope. I'll keep that. So I can just do pot shots at the deer as they go up, and turkey. You know, deer and turkey go up this valley. This was the Mississippi River, like in one of my older videos. It's down in there. You know, when it rains, it flows. It would be a good thing to do a lake, you know, like a little pond, dam it off, you know, so it just fills with water, but then I'll lose that highway, so I think I'm just going to leave it as a highway valley. This should be settled. This has had, I don't know, 2 years, no, a year and a half now. It's been 18 months since I did this. This has had 18 months to settle and all that. This is just tossing it freely. This will be ready to build on now. Nothing cool. You can see one of the pipes. Maybe it's just 2 pipes. Yeah, there's the other pipe right there. This is just to keep it from caving in. Now it's really not necessary since I'm out here, but you know, before I wasn't out here. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that so I can walk easier. Got a bee's nest. They're everywhere's. Red wasps. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Nice little spider. And that guy's only like 1.5 inches, 1.25 width, leg to leg. But once they get to 3 inches, I'm going to collect them. So basically, I'll be spending this summer and fall out here. So I do this, you know, get the compost toilet over here. Do the warehouse garage. And you know, brought out some 2x4s, you know, maybe like, and concrete, you know, so maybe like 2 or 3 bags of concrete each load, you know, so that's kind of concrete, you know, be a slab. The compost toilet will be on a slab, and concrete retaining walls going through that little thing, but no room. You know, I'll be using some of these plywoods. I got some pressure treateds back in that stack. That's a sheet of aluminum siding. That's going to be for specialty projects like birdhouses. I'm not using that aluminum on this. This will all be galvanized steel. I have, I think, maybe like 12 things of steel up there. Metal roofing. Some of that stuff. So, got a new chainsaw. The other one, they're just too far gone, you know. So some windows, some of this plywoods, some of those pressure treaters, and some more of those 8-foot pressure treaters. This concrete, a lot more concrete for doing kind of the retaining walls on the side, but it doesn't need to be all the way up right now. I can bring it up maybe like 4 feet, you know, and that's high enough for right now. But eventually it'll be concrete ceiling as well, so I can build over it. But that's if I get a tractor. If I go back to society for like another year or so, just got some pictures. Yeah, these are maps. I really don't want to show. These two are topographic, and this is like satellite of the area. So I did a map of the lake. So the map of the Kentucky Lake is actually 16 of these. These will be, I'm cutting them out still. It's kind of like a downtime project. Yesterday. Well, these overlap in a particular fashion. This goes like that. So that butts together. Okay, I see it now. So I got a bunch of them over there. You kind of see, you know, this is the lake. It goes there and it splits off. It goes there. So it'll be 16 of those all together. Here's another 6. 16 of them. I'll just put them up on the wall, you know. I'm going to hot glue them together, overlapping as they should. This is my new 270. Savage Arms. This is nice. This is a, oh jeez, last for minnows. For duck food and catfish food. This is probably my favorite gun. This is a 220 takedown. Just kind of breaks in half in the middle. So you can just keep it in a little suitcase like that. Ruger. That's for you never know what, you know. That's good for turkeys. It's too small for deer. This one's for deer though. 270. Oh, here it is. This is the scope I'm going to be putting on it. What does this say? 624. So, you know, minimum zoom of 6 power, maximum zoom of 24 power. So massive. Yeah, I could zoom in massive far. In general, you want to sight it in like 30 yards to 50 yards, sighting it in. And that's like a 30-yard shot, you know. I couldn't see the plywood out there, but it's more or less like a 30-yard shot. So I'll be sighting it in on the 30 yards, you know. I don't need the full 24 at 30 yards. Unless I just want to like see the color of its irises or something, you know. I should be good on 6, but if I do use it for like a long shot, shooting things elsewhere, you know, I got 24 power. 2 more poles, another net, miscellaneous hooks and things. So this is you know, preps, you know, and then stuff from the room, you know, nice little toaster oven, you know. They have the fridge, mini fridge up in the shack. Once I get more power, you know, I might use that, but I might not, you know. Here's my alcohol collection so far. 2 Seagram 7s is some whiskey. That's blended whiskey. That's single malt whiskey, early times. So 2, 4, What do we got here? Some vodka, 3 vodkas, so 2, 4, 7. That is a brandy. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a brandy, I think. 10 vodka, 2 more vodkas, 2 silver tequilas, 2 190 proofs. So 16 cases, each with 6 1.75 liter bottles. So a lot of alcohol, you know, and something like a 190 proof is good for doing like an extract. You know, there's like vanilla extract, you know, which in modern cooking, but you know, I don't got vanilla beans. But there's the sassafras trees, for, you know, for the root. You know, it's a what do you call that? Root beer licorice mix flavor. So I can, you know, make some root beer extract, you know, licorice extract. Or it's like you know, you have bitters where you do like maybe some of these what do you call it? Wow, I'm drawing a blank now. These winged ones with the little berries. Well, these little citrus berry trees. And I'm drawing a blank. The berries from these with some 190 proof. You know, I make like a nice little bitters, or like adding to like a whiskey sour or something. Also 190 proof for doing tinctures, medicinal tinctures. Probably made me gag trying to drink it just as is. So like the 190 proof is like for other stuff. So it's still got more tile. So projects, porta potty and warehouse, garage, and then once I got the warehouse garage, I can clear this out because this is just a nightmare, you know. It's getting to, there's my hunting bag. I got a 22 gauge pellet rifle in there, break barrel. So that's a take down. That's a takedown where it breaks in half. But this is a break barrel pellet rifle where it just bends in half, and then you load in the pellet, and then you close it back up, and that action pumps it, you know. So you just open it, put in the pellet, close it, it's ready to fire. Open it, put in the pellet, close it, ready to fire. 22, it's great for squirrels. You know, I got a cutting board, scissors, knives, flags, you know, marking my trail. Various things in there. So, kind of general plan, go fishing. I got some cast nets, maybe, in one of these things. You know, one of these bags is some cast nets. Cast net for some minnows, just real quick like, you know. And then cut it, you know. Use it as bait on one of the catfish poles. Set up both poles, and then just wait, you know. I got some squirrel calls, some quarters, and official ones, you know. Just sit there waiting for the catfish, you know, and do the squirrel calls. See if I get squirrels or catfish or both, you know. Miscellaneous tools, you know. A bunch of picture frames, you know. Nothing in particular for those ones just yet, but I do more topographic ones, you know. I could expand the topographic to a larger area, you know. But right now I got a, you know, this kind of stylized. It's like mines, you know. This is where there's some titanium and zirconium ores, some sand and some gravel, some zinc and titanium, some clay, ball clay. I don't know what that is. It's cut off clay. So I also marked the peaks on here. There's some kind of like a peak. Oh, here we go. Nero Hill, 627 feet. Mulberry Hill, 604 feet. So the high points. It's got the high points. You know, this is a topographic for the lake. So you can kind of see the original riverbed is deep blue, you know. Now that's flooded, you know. All this other stuff. So I kind of plan, you know, these dark spots, how this is dark. Dark, dark. Dark, dark, dark. This is dark. Dark, 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 dark. Along the shores, dark. That's all undeveloped TVA land. Good for hunting, fishing, camping, building primitive shelters. But you're not supposed to use like screws and nails and modern things, you know, any shelter out there. But people do duck blinds, which is modern stuff, so it's really not enforced, you know. So with this map, I can kind of plan out where I want to set up a camp, you know, some undeveloped land, you know, undeveloped TVA land, roughly every 5 miles along the thing, preferably where the dark water, you know, here's the dark river channel, that's the deep stuff, is close to it, so, you know, I can fish into that deep stuff, you know. As I'm thinking deep water is probably where the better fishing is. I haven't really done any good fishing yet. This will be my first time. Plan on doing half preps food and half fish and squirrels, and then, you know, maybe I'll catch a deer, you know, once I have that built. I do got like a 2-month supply of like canned food that's kept in town, you know, like while I'm working, if the store shut down, you know, I always had a 2-month supply of just ready to eat canned food. So I'll be going through the canned food, you know, and miscellaneous other stuff, you know, before I start fishing, you know. It's gonna, you know, I wanna, fishing takes a while, processing the food takes a while, you know, so probably do this compost toilet before really getting too far into the fishing and hunting, because it just takes so long. So I might as well just leave, because it's a long hike to go, and when you gotta go at my age, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Oh, here we go. .270 ammo. This is probably 130 grain. I got some 150 grain. Yeah, this is 130. I got some 150 grain as well. Kind of see how big these bullets are. They're massive. So it'll be a while. I don't really plan on getting a deer anytime soon because it's rare, but I got them for when I do. But using up these things, you know. Once I got this cleared out, I'll start breaking into my Ziploc baggy foods. You know, I got like a 10-year supply of food in Ziplocs, you know. I'll start breaking into that, you know. I'm not doing this Mylar baggies yet. Yeah, here's like room stuff, you know, it's a deep fryer right here. I may never use a deep fryer. It's because might as well just use wood for the deep fryer, for deep frying. But anyways, that's it for this video. Just like an update, you know. You kind of see it's a untenable mess again, you know. Having my room in town cleared out, you know. There's 2 sets of shelves right there that I need to put up. It's like 90 degrees outside. It's going to be up to 100 this next few days. What are we at here? 75. So a 15-degree difference. 90% humidity. 15-degree difference. Still cool, you know. That's the problem right there. That's where the water comes in. Look at that. You can see daylight under the door. That's why I duct tape the bottom of the door when I leave. So if there's a heavy rain, that looks like daylight too right there. So if there's a heavy rain, it doesn't just flow in. You know, the duct tape stops it. But I don't even think it's been I think one time water reached up onto the door. You know, when I come out, I look for a little dirt line on the bottom of the door. You know, because when the water subsides, it leaves a dirt line. One time there was a dirt line on the door. But otherwise, you know, those I think it's just 2 tubes, you know, do the trick. Those 2 tubes do the trick in keeping this from flooding. I know eventually it'll be the outdoor kitchen, which will finalize it, and then I won't need to tape the bottom of the door. It is good for keeping the bugs out, though. There's a lot of bugs. Yeah, so out here a couple months to a couple years, to probably like 10 years max. As assuming society doesn't collapse. I'm not going to beat a dead horse because, you know, it goes without saying that society's collapsing. I'm just not even going to bother talking about it anymore because it should just be obvious. So probably forever, because I don't think society will last that long. I'm thinking a couple more years, 2 more years before, you know, hyperinflation. There's a lot of misinformation out there, so it's really hard to say. But once this the lifting of the deck ceiling has expired, I don't think we're gonna continue on after that. It's gonna be a rough road. Anyways, that's it for this video.